in the shadows of ancient Rome, when Christians whispered prayers in fear. One man stood as a bridge between the apostles and the rising church, a man taught by Peter, guided by Paul, and destined to become the fourth pope, the leader who held Christianity together when it was almost torn apart. His name was Clement. Our story begins in the 1st century. Rome is powerful, deadly, and unforgiving. Christians are hunted, their leaders killed, and their churches scattered in secret homes. In this dangerous world, a young Roman noble named Clement, born around 35 AD, begins a journey that will change the future of Christianity. Clement grew up in wealth and education. He studied philosophy, politics, and literatariat. He felt empty. He wanted truth, a meaning deeper than the emperor's pride. This search for truth would lead him somewhere unexpected, to a small group of believers following someone called the Christ. Clement listened to the preaching of Saint Peter himself. He heard the courage in Peter's voice, the wisdom in Paul's letters, and the power of the gospel. Clement believed. He was baptized, leaving behind the comforts of Roman nobility to join a persecuted people. After Peter and Paul were executed under Emperor Nero, the church entered a crisis. Confusion, fear, and division spread. Leaders were captured, believers fled, and the community in Rome struggled to stay united. Clement stepped forward to help guide and stabilize the believers. After the leadership of Linus and Cletus, the Roman Church chose Clement as their next shepherd. Around 88 AD, he became the 4th Bishop of Rome, the final pope who personally learned from the apostles. He inherited a church full of fear, arguments, and leadership disputes. A major conflict erupted in Corinth. Younger Christians removed their elders, causing chaos. The entire church was splitting apart. They turned to Rome for help, and Clement answered. Clement wrote a long, powerful letter to the Corinthians, a message of peace, humility, and unity. He reminded them that the apostles appointed bishops and deacons to lead, and that removing them without cause was against the faith. This letter, known as 1st Clement, is one of the earliest Christian writings after the New Testament. It healed the Corinthian church and showed the growing authority of the Pope. Clement emphasized the teaching that shaped Christianity forever: apostolic succession. He explained how Jesus chose the apostles. The apostles chose new leaders, and those leaders continued that chain all the way to his time. Through Clement, the church understood the importance of order, unity, and leadership. Despite persecution, Clement strengthened the Christian community. He encouraged charity, supported widows and orphans, and quietly helped the faith spread across Rome. He held the church together at a time when it could have collapsed under fear. When Emperor Trajan began persecuting Christians again, Clement was arrested for converting many Romans. Even in chains, he refused to deny Christ. He was sentenced to exile in the mines of Crimea, a brutal, deadly punishment. In exile, Clement worked alongside prisoners, comforted them, and preached the faith. Stories say he miraculously found fresh water for the exhausted miner. His influence grew so much that even in exile, many became Christians. Trajan feared Clement's growing influence. He ordered Clement's execution. Clement was tied to a heavy iron anchor and thrown into the sea. He died around 99 AD, becoming one of the earliest papal martyrs. The anchor became a symbol, a sign of hope and steadfast faith. St. Clement left behind a legacy that shaped the church for centuries. He strengthened the authority of the papacy. He taught apostolic succession. He preserved unity among early Christians. He wrote one of the most important documents after the Bible, and he died as a witness to Christ. Clement stands as a bridge from the apostles to the future of Christianity. The story of Saint Clement. The first is the story of courage, unity, and unshakable faith. A man who learned from the apostles, preserved their teachings, and gave his life to protect the church they built. His voice still echoes today, calling Christians to stand together in humility, peace, and love.